Unit fourth getting complete. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth. This is unit fourth, which is going to complete now. The end of chapter number 12, which we are going to see today. So this is a very simple section and very dear section, because many times the word dear will come. He is very dear to me. He is very dear to me. So this section is also very dear to the devotees. So in the 12th chapter, we saw that how initially Krishna explained that which is the higher aspect of the Godhead, the personal aspect or the impersonal aspect, and then he concluded that the personal aspect is easier, impersonal aspect is really tough. Very, very tough. And then he talks about various ladders of bhakti. We saw the highest one being Smaranam Atmika Bhakti, then Mananam Atmika Bhakti, then Abhyas Rupa Bhakti. And then with that, the next level was that do some selfless service. Do some selfless service. And then Krishna gave a very nice verse number 12, 12.12, which was a little tricky because he almost upsided down the whole ladder, yoga ladder. But then our acharyas explains in a very beautiful way, okay, what Krishna means by that. So from verse number 13 till 20, we have the third section of this chapter, where Krishna will be telling about the qualities which endears one to Krishna. So those qualities. So here we'll not go into much into Acharya's commentaries, because they will be just explaining each qualities which Prabhupada has already taken. So Prabhupada's purport contain everything, and Prabhupada's purport are very beautiful. So today we'll try to cover Prabhupada's purport in full, so that we get the essence, what Prabhupada wants from us, how these qualities will manifest in us, and what Prabhupada wants us to do. So therefore, we'll see that. Okay. So let's begin. Chapter number 12. Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Geetam Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva Ekas Mantras Tasramani Ani Karmani Api Tasya Devasya Sevam. Okay. So we'll recite the verse and then we'll start the discussion. Okay. So this is verse number 13. We're going to start now. Advashta sarvabhutanam maitrai karuna eva cha nirmamo nirahankara samadukha sukhashami santushta satatam yogi yadatma drina nischaya mayi arpita manobodhir yo mad bhakta same priya. So this word will be repeated, this last line will be repeated every time. Yo mat bhakta same priya. Such kind of a devotee is very dear to me. Okay, so we'll just see the word to word meaning first. Advashta, that means non-envious. So non-envious towards whom? Sarva bhutanam, towards all living entities. He is non-envious. Maitrai karuna evacha, and he is also friendly and kindly towards all living entities. Cha means to the above line only. Advashta Sarvabhutana, then Maitri Karuna Evacha, and is also friendly and kind to all the living entities. Nirmamaha, with no sense of proprietorship. He knows that nothing belongs to me, everything belongs to Krishna. Nirahankara, without false ego. I am not the controller, I am not the doer. Nirahankara. Sama, he is equal, equipoise quality. Sama, Dukkha, Sukha, he is equal in Sukha and Dukkha. Shami, that is forgiving. From the word Shama has come the word Shami, that is forgiving. Santushta is satisfied. Whatever Krishna gives, he is satisfied. Satatam, always. Yogi, one engaged in devotion. He is always engaged in devotional services. Yatma, Yata Atma, his self-control. All the senses are in control. That means all the senses are engaged in Krishna service. Drin Nishchaya, and he's also very determined, because in life both ups and downs will come, but he's determined to do his devotional service. Mai, upon me. Arpita, he engages. What he engages in me? Manah buddhi, his mind and intelligence. Yah, one who, mat bhakta, my devotee, sa me priya, is very dear to me. Yes, some devotee can read the translation.
One who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me.
So now let us analyze this verse, series of verses. So here now from here, Krishna is beginning to have some qualities. So one of the most important aspect of devotional service is when we want to render devotional service is training in consciousness, training of the subtle body. So train the gross body is very easy. Gross body को उठा रहे हैं, वो कर रहे हैं, आर्मी वाले कर रहे हैं. लेकिन to train the subtle body, to train the consciousness is very, very difficult. Therefore, prayojan of devotional service is to develop the qualities. That is the prayojan. So, if you see the three sections which has come, first is the aspect which you want to believe. The first aspect of 12th chapter was the aspect which you want to believe. So that is like sambandha gyan. That is like sambandha gyan. What is in which form you want to have your sambandha. Second was activities which Krishna defined. If you are not able to do this, do this. If you're not able to do this, do this. It's like abhidya. And this is the prayojan. The third section is like prayojan. Acharyas have told about these three sections that it's like prayojan. If we are doing devotional service, then this should be the result. That they should lead to the manifestation of these qualities. Yashasti bhakti bhagavati yakinchana sarve guna tatta samasate sura harava bhaktasya kuto manat guna manorathena dhavato vahi. So performance of devotional service should lead to the qualities. So what are those qualities which Krishna says should manifest in a devotee? Are these qualities, which makes him very dear to Krishna. So this is one aspect of this section. Second aspect of this section is very nice. Then in 9th chapter, Krishna says about this verse, Api che suduracharo bhajante mam ananya bhav sadhu reva samathavyam samyak vivastito hisa. So there he is able to accommodate even if somebody is suduracharo. Krishna is telling even if he's very suduracharo, api che suduracharo, but he is engaged in my devotion, bhajante mam ananya bhav. Sadhu rev, he is considered to be sadhu. So that verse is a very special verse because it shows the heart of Krishna that he wants to extend his mercy to such a level that even if you have done some very, very wrong act also, but you surrender to him, if you are engaged in his service, Krishna will still accept us. He will not take care of our bad qualities. He will see the good aspect of us and then he will accept us. So that's his very, very compassionate nature, Karuna Sindhu. But he does not want his devotee to just stay at that level. It's not that he keeps doing mistakes and begging forgiveness. No, Krishna wants his devotee to grow ahead and develop the qualities of a devotee. So here he is mentioning that these are very dear to me. If you develop these qualities in you, then you will become very dear to me. So therefore, Krishna is explaining these qualities now from here. So it's a prayojan. It's a prayojan. So what we need to do? So will this automatically be developed or we need to endeavor for it? What do you say? So yes, devotees, what do you feel? Will whether we have to develop it or it will automatically develop? Yes, Pavan, true.
ये तो दोनों एस्पेक्ट हैं। मतलब शास्त्र में बताया गया कैसे जो भक्ति करते हैं तो सारी क्वालिटीज आ भी जाती हैं। एट द सेम टाइम जिसकी काफी ज्यादा रिक्वायरमेंट है अगर हम तय कर रहे हैं तो उसके लिए एक्सक्लूसिव एंडेवर भी हम कर सकते हैं साधका के लेवल पे।
ओके, पवन ट्रू की आवाज मेरे को थोड़ी सी क्लियर नहीं आई, लेकिन जो मेरे को समझ में आया कि यस इट विल बी डेवलप्ड by doing bhakti, but we have to do our endeavor also. Yes, Kamal Prabhu is also telling we have to do our endeavor. Yes, perfect. So actually at our stage when we are practicing it at current level, we have to try to even if mechanically we are doing it, still we have to try to practice it, those qualities. Even if we don't want, yes, Advashta, non envy, Prabhuji, 36 का आंकड़ा चल रहा है इस भक्त के साथ, वॉइस में या तो ये रहेगा या तो मैं रहूंगा। आप नॉन एनवीएस की बात कर रहे हैं प्रभु जी, पूरा एनवी बाहर निकल रहा है मेरा। सो अद्वष्ट सर्वभूता नाम, सर्वभूता को छोड़ो प्रभु जी, ये भूत बना हुआ है मेरे लिए। दिन रात मुझे यही नजर आता है। सो यस, मुझे याद है हम वॉइस में थे, ये तो मेरे साथ ही हुआ है, मैं आपको अपना प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ का एक्सपीरियंस बताता हूँ। हम वॉइस में थे तो एक डिवोटी था, वो सुबह के 3:30 बजे ब्रह्म संहिता लगा देता था वॉइस, ईश्वरा परम कृष्णा सच्चिदानंद विग्रह, और हम सब सो रहे होते थे। इतना गुस्सा आता था मेरे को, मैं कहा प्रभु आप उठ रहे हो, बाकियों को क्यों उठा रहे हो, हम 4 बजे वाले हैं। हम 4, 4, 5 पे उठेंगे और 4:30 तक पहुंच जाएंगे, आप उसकी टेंशन मत लो। पर वो ज्यादा ही करुणा हम पे दिखाता था। मैं तो डेली सुबह सुबह उठ के बस स्टार्ट कर देता था, ईश्वर परम कृष्णा। कुछ डिवोटी को तो अच्छा लगता था, लेकिन मैं तो एकदम अंदर से एकदम ज्वालामुखी फूट रहा था। हम्म तो उनकी ब्रांच भी केमिकल थी, मुझे लगा कुछ केमिकल इंडस्ट्री में इनको फेंक देना चाहिए। तो क्या चल रहा है ये। तो फिर ऐसा हो रहा था एक तो कुछ भी होता वो माइंड में सेट हो गया था मेरे। तो कुछ भी वो करते, अच्छा भी करते, तो मुझे लगता है कि वो उल्टा कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि एनवी का नेचर होता है वो, मतलब वो आपको उल्टा परसेप्शन ही देता है। अगर अच्छा भी कर रहा है तो आपको उल्टा परसेप्शन देगा। तो मैं गया प्रभु जी के पास, मैं बोला प्रभु जी वॉइस में या तो ये रहेंगे या तो मैं रहूंगा, हैं दोनों नहीं रह सकते। प्रभु जी ने क्या हो गया, मैं कहा प्रभु जी इतना कुछ हो रहा है। तो प्रभु जी ने बोला ठीक है हम 2 वॉइस बनाएंगे, हैं वो HBTI 1 HBTI 2, तो आप 2 में चले जाओ। मैं कहा ठीक है प्रभु जी, तो मैं 2 में चला गया। लेकिन इंचार्ज बन के वही डिवोटी आ गया वापस 2 में। तो उस समय आदि श्याम प्रभु हमारे सीनियर बने, इंचार्ज बने HBTI 2 के। तो प्रभु जी ने फिर मेरे को समझाया, देखो थोड़ा सा अच्छा क्वालिटीज देखने की कोशिश किया जाए। तो मैंने बोला ठीक है प्रभु जी हम लिखते हैं, तो अप्रिसिएशन लेटर लिखना स्टार्ट किया हूँ कि कुछ अच्छी क्वालिटीज देखें इनमें। तो ऐसे ऐसे हुआ। बट देन आई रियलाइज्ड, फिर मैं एक बार और गया प्रभु जी के पास, प्रभु जी ने फिर उनकी क्वालिटीज मेरे को बताई, और फिर कुछ ऐसा बताया जो मुझे बहुत टच हुआ, जो उनके लाइफ में जो प्रॉब्लम्स चल रही थी, एंड हाउ ही वाज ओवरकमिंग दोस प्रॉब्लम्स। सो So now I joined ashram. He also joined ashram. So, but in PDC we had a different look only. PDC we were together, and with the passage of time, I could see that how much dedicated he was for Srila Prabhupada. तो देन मैंने सोचा कि ठीक है, मुझे इस पर्सन से एनवी हो रही है बिकॉज ये मेरे को डिस्टर्ब कर रहा है, मेरे को डिस्टर्बेंस हो रहा है। बट व्हेन आई सॉ दैट हाउ मच ही इज सर्विंग प्रभुपाद, हाउ मच ही इज डेडिकेटेड टू प्रभुपाद, तो प्रभु जी ने बताया कि अपने 4 साल की स्कॉलरशिप ये वॉइस के रनिंग के लिए यूज करते थे। उनका बाप रे बाप, क्या बात है। और क्या क्या सेक्रीफाइस किया, कैसे अपने दोस्तों से बेगिंग करके लक्ष्मी ला के वॉइस चलाते थे वो। मैं बोला बाप रे बाप, ये क्या कर रहा है ये डिवोटी। सो देन व्हेन आई बिगेन टू रिफ्लेक्ट दैट हाउ मच ही इज सर्विंग प्रभुपाद, देन मैं बोला मैं तो बहुत इंसिग्निफिकेंट प्राणी हूँ, मेरे को अगर वो डिस्टर्ब भी कर रहे हैं मैं बहुत ही इंसिग्निफिकेंट हूँ। But the way he is pleasing superiors and serving Srila Prabhupada, that is exceptional. So as soon as those thoughts began to come in my mind, कि he is very dear to Prabhupada, he is very dear to Radha Madhav, he is very dear to superiors. Immediately the feelings of envy began to bend. वो पूरा मेल्ट होने लग गया और वो appreciation में बढ़ने लग गया. And more I used to meet with him, more I used to see his glories now. वो उतना ग्लोरीज उसका दिखने लग गया मेरे को। मैं कहा, प्रभु आप ये भी करते हो, प्रभु आप ये भी कर रहे हो, क्या बात है। So now in ashram he's one of my best friend. मुझे साधना करना रहता तो मैं उनके पास चला जाता हूँ कि प्रभु साधना करते हैं साथ में। And so he has now become my one of the best friend in ashram, where I take shelter also. I goes to him, I ask him कि प्रभु आप कैसे चीजें वो कर रहे हो, how you are able to do, please so much. So that's how this envy, which was rooted in a self-centeredness, that was taken away very expertly by our superiors to see a broad picture, कि how that devotee means so much to Krishna. That devotee means so much to Krishna. Krishna loves him so much. So yes, we need to also develop We need to work on it. So when you work on it, automatically those qualities now it's like a gift to me. That quality which has come to see that devotee is like a gift to me, which is given by superiors to me in that vision. So yes, we need to do both. Okay, so let's see the Prabhupada, the purport, very nice purport of Srila Prabhupada. Coming again to the point of pure devotional service. So see, these qualities are in connection to Krishna. When these qualities can be manifested by outside person also. He is very kind. But if he is not a devotee, no use. So in one of the purport of in Narsim Dev section, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes there that our only judgment criteria for judging any person is whether he is a devotee or not, whether he is a devotee of Lord or not. Other qualities don't matter. Krishna Eka Sharanam, Krishna Eka Sharanam is our judging criteria for anyone. Krishna Eka Sharanam. So these qualities in relation to Krishna becomes very special. So these qualities come under pure devotional service. If one practicing these qualities, he is under pure devotional service. Okay, coming back to the point of pure devotional service, the Lord is describing the transcendental qualification of a pure devotee in these two verses. So these are transcendental qualification. Prabhupada is telling these are not of the material world, these are of the spiritual world, these qualities. A pure devotee is never disturbed in any circumstances, nor he is envious of anyone. Nor does a devotee becomes his enemy's enemies. He thinks. See, this is training in consciousness. Prabhupada, through all this purport, we are going to read all the purports. So through all this purport, Prabhupada is training our consciousness as a devotee. So activity is already done in previous verses. Now he is training our consciousness. He thinks this person is acting as my enemy due to my past misdeed. So it's better to suffer than protest. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10:14-8, it is stated, Tattenu tampam susamikshamano punjana vevatmakritam vipakam. Whenever a devotee is in distress and has fallen to difficulty, he thinks that it's the Lord mercy upon him. He thinks, thanks to my past misdeeds, I should suffer far, far greater than I am suffering now. So it is by the mercy of the Supreme Lord that I am not getting all the punishment I am due. I am just getting a little by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, he is always calm, quiet, and patient. He is always calm, quiet, and patient. Despite many difficult conditions, a devotee is also always kind to everyone, even to his enemy. Nirmama means the devotee does not attach much importance to the pains and trouble pertaining to the body because he knows perfectly well that he is not the material body. He does not identify with the body, therefore he is freed from the conception of false ego and is equipoised in happiness and distress. He is tolerant. He is satisfied with whatever comes by the grace of the Supreme Lord. He does not endeavor much to achieve something with great difficulty. Therefore, he is always joyful. He is a completely perfect mystic because he is fixed in the instruction received from the spiritual master. So this is the definition of a perfect mystic, who is a perfect yogi. One is fixed in the instruction of a spiritual master. And because his senses are controlled, he is determined. So how one can be determined? If our senses are controlled. He is not swayed by false arguments because no one can lead him from the fixed determination of devotional service. He is fully conscious that Krishna is eternal Lord. So no one can disturb him. All this qualification enable him to fix his mind and intelligence entirely on the Supreme Lord. Such a standard of devotional service is undoubtedly very rare, but a devotee becomes situated in that stage by following the regulative principles of devotional service. So this is how we have to endeavor over here. Furthermore, the Lord says that such a devotee is very dear to him, for the Lord is always pleased with all his activity in full Krishna consciousness. So Lord becomes very pleased when one endeavors for these qualities. So in one of the lectures I was hearing of His Holiness Bhakti Vigyan Goswami Maharaj, he says a very nice thing about the stages of devotional service. So I will just show you one thing from that. Okay, got it. So I've taken a screenshot of his classes. So I will just show you a very important thing. Okay, able to see my screen? Okay, okay. So he says, what is spiritual development really means? Spiritual development really means the spiritual development means gradual development of the real ego and parallel diminishment of the false ego. He says at the end of the day that what is spiritual development which should happen in us is this consciousness of that we are servant of Krishna, the real ego should come up. And you will find many of the purpose. Purpose says the real solution for everything, if we can come in this Jivera Swarupa Krishna Nityadas, in this consciousness, and then all the problems of life can be solved. And parallel diminution of the false ego. False ego is ahamta and mamta. Here the word is used nirmama nirahankara. So ahamta and mamta has to be reduced. So these two parallel process will go. The development of the real ego, that we are servant of Krishna, and the diminishment of the false ego, that I am the controller, I am the enjoyer, ahamta or mamta should go down. So he explains it in more detail. And he says the real ego of servant can only be formed in the association of devotees. He says it's not possible without devotees. Devotees will make sure that you get the feelings of servant. Prabhuji, आप दास हैं, आपका नाम में भी दास लगा है, तो आप दास की तरह बिहेव करिए. Yes, Prabhuji. So it's in the association of devotees. So this is very important. Metaphors for spiritual development. So what happens at each stage of development of this real yuga? So Shraddha, level of Shraddha, once learn how to appreciate the devotees. He sees a devotee, he says, "Arey, yaar, devotee is bahut achhe hain." This is Shraddha stage. Then Sadhu Sang, he learns how to speak as a sadhu. Sadhu Sang, he learns how to speak. आप बोलने लग जाते हो, आपको उसका रियलाइजेशन नहीं है, लेकिन आप वर्ड्स यूज करने जाते हो. द सेल्फ फ्लैजेशन प्रोसेस कैन ओनली हैपन इन ह्यूमन बॉडी. आपको इसका रियलाइजेशन नहीं है, but you speak as a sadhu. You just repeat whatever you are hearing. You repeat as a sadhu, not having realization. Then bhajan kriya. Kriya means you act as a devotee. And learn how to act as a devotee. It's a mechanical. It's mechanical. It's not fully that you are consciously you are doing it. No. Bhajan kriya. Kriya means an activity involved. You are involving in an activity. Then ananta nivriti, which is a very important stage, is learn how to think as a devotee. That's what Prabhupada is training over here. This is the stage of anartha nivriti, training of consciousness. How to think as a devotee. And Nishtha stage is learn how to feel as a sadhu. Your feelings for Lord as a sadhu, which we hear will come up at Nishtha stage. So that's how he says this metaphor, and that at each stable, what is our development should be. What is the spiritual development we are looking for at each stage of devotional service. And then he talks about development, what gets developed at each stage. Shraddha, development of trust gets developed. Sadhusang, development of responsibility one takes. Bhajan Kriya, development of mindfulness, introspection. Anant Nivritti is development of humility, tolerance, and respect in the association. So main point was Anant Nivritti, which he was quoting, was a devotee learns how to think as a devotee, which Prabhupada is quoting over here. Okay, now let's go to next verse. Yasmano dvijate loko, lokano dvijate chaya, harshamarsha bhayodvega, mukto yasa cha me priya. He is very dear to me. Who? Let's see. Yasmat, from whom, na ujjate, are agitated, loka. So people are not agitated by him. People are not put into difficulty by him. Loka, from people, na ujjate, he is not disturbed by people also. People maybe do a lot of nonsense, but he is not disturbed by it. Anyone who harsha, marsha, in happiness and distress, bhaya, udvega, mukta. So he is equipoised in happiness and distress, and is free from fear and anxiety. He is free from fear and anxiety. He is dear to. Yes, read the translation.
He by whom no one is put into difficulty, and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipoised in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety, is very dear to.
So a devotee is one who will not do anything which will cause violence to others. So Prabhupada in Ahimsa, in I think 13th chapter it will come, Prabhupada will define Ahimsa at 3 levels. First level, he will Ahimsa at physical level. One should not hurt any living entity. Second, mentally also you should not hurt him by speaking some harsh words. And third is at the spiritual level. If you are not preaching, you are hurting the soul, because the soul has to undergo a lot of transmigration. So Prabhupada says these 3 levels of non-violence or violence. Physical, mental, by speaking, we hurt someone. And third is by spiritual. If you're not preaching, then it's a violence to the soul. Prabhupada says that. So he by whom no one is put into difficulty, he who is not disturbed by anyone. So although the people of this world, because it's a material world, not everyone is a devotee, so they will not speak in a very good way. ऐसा नहीं कि बहुत अच्छे से आपसे बात करेंगे. And even devotees sometimes they may chastise us, but we should not be disturbed by it. That's one of the quality. And then next quality which Krishna says is equipoised. You will find this quality Krishna repeats many places. In second chapter, again in between, and then again in the Gyan Yoga section, he will again repeat this. Being equipoised means being dhira. Dhira means he is very composed in himself. Because this is very necessary when we are in material world. Because the upheavals in material worlds will keep coming. So therefore, this is one of the main quality which Krishna is repeating again. Yes, some devotee can read the purport.
A few devotees' qualifications are further being described. No one is put into difficulty, anxiety, fearfulness, or dissatisfaction by such a devotee. Since a devotee is kind to everyone, he does not act in such a way as to put others into anxiety. At the same time, if others try to put a devotee into anxiety, he is not disturbed. It is by the grace of the Lord that he is so practiced that he is not disturbed by any outward disturbance. Actually, because a devotee is always engrossed in Krishna consciousness and engaged in devotional service, such material circumstances cannot move him. Generally, a materialistic person becomes very happy when there is something for his sense gratification and his body. But when he sees that others have something for their sense gratification and he hasn't, he is sorry and envious. When he is expecting some retaliation from an enemy, he is in a state of fear. And when he cannot successfully execute something, he becomes dejected. A devotee who is always transcendental to all these disturbances is very dear to Krishna.
So how can he be transcendental? Means there are problems which are there. So what thing can make him transcendental? So this is a question to all of you. How can a devotee be transcendental to disturbances in life? So what should be his thought process if disturbances are coming and all? So how can he be transcendental? That's the question.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
Yes, Prabhu.
प्रभु प्रीवियस वर्ड्स में बताया था पावर पॉइंट में कि मतलब ये सोचना चाहिए कि पास्ट डीड्स की वजह से हम लोग को मिल रहा है
Okay.
पर कम मिला है.
बोलना इजी है, सोचना मुश्किल है थोड़ा सा.
और प्रभु जी ऐसा भी कह
जी.
सकते हैं क्या प्रभु जी कि जैसे समटाइम्स कि जब हमें अच्छा मिलता है तो हम लॉर्ड को ग्लोरीफाई करते हैं, और जब बुरा मिलता है तो हम ये बोल सकते हैं दिस इज आवर कर्मा. तो एटलीस्ट वी कैन हम थोड़ा सा पीसफुलनेस स्टेज में आ सकते हैं अगर.
करेक्ट. अभी मेरे उत्कर्ष बिटिया उत्कर्ष में 25 रजिस्ट्रेशन हुए थे. तो सब डिवोटीज आके मेरे को बोलते हैं प्रभु जी आपने तो कमाल कर दिया. यार मैं ही हूँ, शायद मैं ही हूँ. मैं ही हूँ. उसके बाद फिर 7-8 डिवोटीज ने ना बोल दिया, एंटी प्रीचिंग स्टार्ट हो गया. उसके बाद वो डाउन हो गया. तो फिर मैं अब लॉर्ड के पास गया, लॉर्ड ऐसा क्यों हुआ? बोले पहले क्रेडिट तुम ही ले रहे थे ना, बहुत क्रेडिट ले रहे थे, अभी इसका भी क्रेडिट ले लो कि आप ही के वजह से हो रहा है. मैं कहा अच्छा हाँ शायद यही हो रहा है. तो यस, व्हेन लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स कम्स अस, गुड थिंग्स कम, एंड मतलब वो है एक नेचुरल टेंडेंसी. हाँ कुछ तो किया है हमने, हाँ मानते हैं भगवान ने किया है, लेकिन कुछ तो हमने भी किया है. और जो कुछ खराब हो जाए तो हमको लगता है यार कितना भी ठीक है, पास्ट कर्मा ऐसे ही निकलना था क्या, अभी निकलना था क्या? किसी और में निकल जाता पास्ट कर्मा. ओके, यस मंक प्रू, व्हाट डू यू से, हाउ कैन वी बी ट्रांसेंडेंटल?
Prabhuji, by understanding Prabhuji, like Krishna will is supreme and he knows the best man, basically.
Hmm.
Then
Correct.
whatever is happening, this is best for my spiritual life. When we understand this, then we become indifferent to pain and happiness too.
Correct. So Suhrit Sarvabhutana is called that. He is our Suhrit. So whatever he will do with us, he's our best friend. A best friend will always do good. Yes, Pawan Pru, you were selling something.
सेम हो जाएगी, जो भी हो रहा है भगवान का इंटेंशन हो रहा है।
Hmm.
इस चीज को अगर इस चीज का हमेशा ध्यान रखें कि जो भी हमारे लाइफ में हो रहा है सब भगवान के इंटेंशन हो रहा है, तो फिर हम उसे ट्रांससेंड कर सकते हैं।
Correct. So this is
क्योंकि
one of the
one
thought
thing,
process. Yes, bro.
क्योंकि कुर्मा पिता भी once told होगी कि ज्यादा भगवान का हाथ देखने से उसमें नहीं आना चाहिए। लाइक भगवान आपने सब क्यों किया, भगवान ने समझ में नहीं आना, प्लीज टेल मी, रिवील मी। तो क्योंकि हम भगवान का हाथ समझ भी नहीं सकते, इतनी कैपेबिलिटी भी नहीं, तो हमें समझने की कोशिश भी नहीं करनी चाहिए, बस उसको एक्सेप्ट कर लेना चाहिए एज अ मर्सी। दिस इटसेल्फ इज अ वेरी
Yes,
ग्रेट।
correct. So on the practical level, do the needful and then have faith in Krishna that he has done the best. So when challenges come in our life, it's not that वो तुरंत, जैसे अभी हमारा नौका विहार था तो हमारी नाव डूब गई है, तो लॉर्ड का नाव डूब गया, तो उसके बाद फिर हमने छोटी बोट में सब किया था, पूरा कराया तो हो गया। बट बहुत सारे जो विजिटर्स आए थे उनका हार्ट थोड़ा सा ब्रेक हो गया, लेकिन डिवोटीज को तो पानी में कूदे डिवोटीज, नाव को बाहर निकाला, पूरा वो एडवेंचर हो गया, डिवोटीज के लिए पूरा एडवेंचर था वो। और राधा माधव जी पूरे पानी में घुसे फिर निकाले उनको, तो सब डिवोटी बोल रहे राधा माधव को ज्यादा ही गर्मी लग रही थी, उनको अंदर घुस गए वो और डिवोटीज ने अपने हाथ में लेकर छोटी सी बोट में लेके पूरे राधा माधव को घुमाया। पानी के अंदर, सारे डिवोटीज पानी के अंदर पूरा एकदम ऐसे घूम घूम के पूरा एकदम महासंकीर्तन रू थे ही वहां पर, एक्सटेसी में थे सब लोग डिवोटीज वहां पर। हैं, तो डिवोटीज को बहुत आनंद आया। और सब डिवोटीज बोल रहे थे राधा माधव की इच्छा थी उनको तो और ठंडा होना था, इसलिए पानी में घुस गए, यमुना बन गई, ये जल अब यमुना हो चुका है, लॉर्ड स्नान कर चुके हैं। तो एक डिवोटी ऐसे ही आया और हम लोग बाहर थे, तो ऐसे ही हम लोग थोड़ा दुखी थे कि भैया क्या हो गया आज। फिर एक डिवोटी बहुत एक्सटेसी में आया मेरे पास, प्रभु जी कृष्णा का क्या पास टाइम हो गया, कृष्णा ने बहुत पास टाइम कर दिया। तो बहुत एक्सटेसी में था, लेकिन मैं उसको कुछ सिखाना भी चाहता था, तो मैंने उसको सीरियसली बोला। मैंने बोला देखो प्रभु, एक सेवक का धर्म होता है कि वो अपनी सेवा सावधानी से करे। एक सेवक का धर्म होता है कि अपनी वो सेवा सावधानी से करे। तो हो सकता है कृष्णा के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से वो पास टाइम है, दैट इज अ पास टाइम फॉर कृष्णा, बट एक सेवक की नजर से हम फेल हो गए। एक सेवक के स्टेटस से हम फेल हो गए कि हम भगवान की नौका विहार को अच्छे से नहीं करा पाए। सो वी हैव टू बी अ बेटर सर्वेंट। सो हम ये नहीं बोल सकते कि बस हमारी लाइफ में हो रहा है तो बस सब कुछ कृष्णा का ही प्लान है, कृष्णा का पास टाइम चल रहा है, नहीं। सो फर्स्ट यू हैव टू डू योर धर्मा, धर्मा एज अ सर्वेंट ऑफ लॉर्ड, एज अ सेवक ऑफ लॉर्ड। मुझे इस सिचुएशन में एज अ सर्वेंट ऑफ लॉर्ड मुझे क्या करना चाहिए जिससे मैं लॉर्ड की ग्लोरीज को और डिवोशनल सर्विस के स्टेटस को बनाए रखूं, और लॉर्ड को ग्लोरीफाई कर सकूं मोर एंड मोर। क्योंकि अगले दिन न्यूज़पेपर में रिपोर्ट निकली, इस्कॉन मंदिर में प्रभु का नाव डूबा। मैं बोला क्या रिपोर्ट निकला है यार उसमें निकला जो प्रभु सबकी नौका पार कराते हैं उनकी नौका डूब गई जो सबको पार कराते हैं मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में उनकी नौका डूब गई। मतलब क्या आर्निकल स्टेटमेंट निकाला उसमें तो दैट्स हाउ। तो मैं वही सोच रहा था एज अ सेवक हम फेल हो गए। सो इसलिए हमको वो सोचना चाहिए। तो हाउ वी कैन कम टू ट्रांससेंडेंटल लेवल। ट्रांससेंडेंटल लेवल मतलब ये नहीं कि बस सब कुछ भगवान पे छोड़ दिया, नहीं। एंड वी हैव टू डू आवर धर्मा व्हिच इज एज अ सर्वेंट ऑफ लॉर्ड, एंड देन व्हाटएवर हैपेंस विद दैट, देन दैट वी शुड एक्सेप्ट इट एज कृष्णास मर्सी। सो व्हेन विल एबल टू हैव दिस कॉन्शियसनेस, व्हेन विल बी इन द एसोसिएशन ऑफ डिवोटीज, बिकॉज एसोसिएशन ऑफ डिवोटीज ही आपको ये याद दिला सकता है। अकेले रहेंगे तो इस सिचुएशंस में आपको ये याद नहीं आएगा। Secondly, taking darshan of the Lord and praying to the deities is very important in difficult situations. And therefore, Bhagavatam says, "Samhareravanath kilalokativra sokashusagara vishoshanamatyudharam sammohanaya rajitam nijamayasya rumandalam munikrite makaradhvajasya." So, it says, "Hasam harer अखिल लोक तीव्रा शोकाशु सागर विशोषण मत्युधारम। ये मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में जो शोक है उनके अश्रु से, लोगों के टीयर्स से, फ्रॉम द टीयर्स ऑफ द पीपल देयर इज एन ओशन मेड, and that ocean is so big that it cannot be dried up by sun, but it can be dried up when we see the smile of the Lord. That big ocean of the misery of this material world can be dried up by seeing the sweet smile of the Lord. Hasam hare ravnatakhila lokativra sokashu shakara vishoshanam atyudharam. And then what happens? Verse number I don't know, you have to check Vedavis. सम्मोहनाय रचितम निजमायस्य भ्रूमंडलम मुनिकते मकराधस्य. And after seeing his smile, what will happen? You will become sammoha to the Lord. You will become fully enchanted by the Lord. आपको लगेगा कि मटेरियल वर्ल्ड तुच्छ है, क्या यार लॉर्ड स्माइल मार रहे हैं, तो लॉर्ड बोल रहे हैं आई एम इन कंट्रोल, बी प्लीजफुल, मैं हूं ना, व्हाई योर इंटेंशन, मैं स्माइल मार रहा हूं, तू क्यों नहीं मार रहा है? so be happy. So like this, Lord is very, very compassionate on all of us. So that's how we can be transcendental. Okay, quickly now we have to move forward. So these qualities are very, very special. If you want to discuss on each qualities, it will take a lot of time, but I have to move forward. Anapeksha suchir daksha udasino hat gata vyatha sarvarambha parityagi yomat bhakta same priya. Yes, read the translation.
My devotees, who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure, expert without cares, free from all pains, and not striving for some result, is very dear to me.
So he is fully sure that he is not dependent on material world for his maintenance. Krishna is maintaining me. Although I may work under some boss, this boss is not my maintainer. He is providing me some income. And even if my income is not there, Lord will still maintain me. It's a Lord's responsibility. I am his son. I am his devotee. Lord will still maintain me. Kante ya pratijanehi name bhakti pranishati. So I am not dependent on this ordinary course of activities for my sustenance, for my happiness. My happiness is not dependent on how the material world is going. कि बीजेपी जीत रहा है कि कांग्रेस जीत रहा है या वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 हो रहा है, 3 हो रहा है. My happiness is not concerned on this. My happiness is on pleasing Krishna. So that is where I am not dependent on this material world. He is pure in his activities, in his thought. Prabhupada talks about external cleanness and internal purity, external and internal purity. He is expert, daksha. He is daksha in his various activities also, service also, which he is doing for the Lord. Without cares, he is not worrying much. He knows karmani vadika raste ma phaleshu kadachan. I have to do my dharma and result will be by Krishna. Without cares. Free from all pains. Not striving for some result. He is not striving very much. कि मेरे को इतना करना ही है, करना ही है, करना ही है. No, he is peaceful that if I have to serve my Lord. Okay. Perfect. Money may be offered to a devotee, but he should not struggle to acquire it. Prabhupada money pe hi aa gaye. If automatically by the grace of the Lord money comes to him, he is not agitated. Naturally, a devotee takes a bath at least twice a day. So now next is cleanliness, purity, and rises early in the morning for devotional service. Thus, he is naturally clean both inward and outward. A devotee is always expert because he fully knows the essence of all activities of life, and he is convinced of the authoritative scriptures. A devotee never takes the part of a particular party, na BJP, na Congress. Therefore, he is carefree. किसी का part नहीं लेने का, अपना काम करने का. He is never pained because he is free from all designation. He knows that his body is a designation. So if there are some bodily pains, he is free. A pure devotee does not endeavor for anything which is against the principles of devotion service. ये बहुत important है कि हम किसके लिए try नहीं करते, तो devotion service के against है. For example, constructing a big temple requires a great energy, and a devotee does not take to such business if it does not benefit him by advancing his devotion service. He may construct a temple for the Lord, and for that he may take all kinds of anxiety, but he does not construct a big house for his personal relations. So he will take anxiety, he will take everything for Lord's pleasure. But for himself, he is not so much eager to take anxiety. For Lord, he will take all anxiety, like Mother Yashoda is taking all anxiety for Krishna. Okay. Yoma yona harshati na dveshti na soshati na kangshati subhashubha parityagi bhaktiman yasame priya. So he is very dear to me. So here the word is called bhaktiman. तो मैं जब पहली बार इसको पढ़ रहा था, मुझे याद है, आज भी याद है, मैं 2012-13 में जब पढ़ रहा था, तो मैंने दिना भक्तिमान, अरे ये कैसा वर्ड है, क्योंकि उस समय मेरे को एक वर्ड याद आया, शक्तिमान, बहुत देखा करते थे हम। तो मैंने बोला अच्छा, तो वो शक्ति था इसलिए उसका शक्तिमान है। तो डिवोट लॉर्ड के लिए क्या है, वो चाहते हैं कि हम भक्तिमान बने। हम शक्तिमान नहीं चाहिए, हमको भक्तिमान बनना है। तो वो वर्ड मुझे बहुत टच किया, भक्तिमान। ओके, यस, ट्रांसलेशन।
One who neither rejoices nor grieves, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things, such a devotee is very dear.
So again, Krishna, you will find that these qualities are like almost overlapping these qualities. So, but Krishna is so happy to tell the qualities of his devotee. He is not stopping only. Isliye my devotees are like this, my devotees are like this, my devotees are like this, and devotee is very dear to me. So Prabhupada says what Krishna means over here. A pure devotee is neither happy nor distressed over the material gain or loss. So he neither rejoices nor grieves on the material gain and loss. Nor he is very much anxious to get a son or disciple. Nor he is distressed by not getting them. कोई है डिसाइपल, कोई फॉलोअर्स हैं तो ठीक है, नहीं है तो कोई टेंशन है। मुझे याद है झूलन यात्रा का, हम लोग प्रिपरेशन में पीडीसी में था, तो झूलन यात्रा का वो चल रहा था, हाँ, प्रिपरेशन। तो विक्रम गोरान प्रभु जी ने मेरे को बोला था कि आप झूलन यात्रा के लिए ये सजाओ। तो एक दो डिवोटी और थे, तो मैं सजा रहा था, तो मैंने देखा कि एक डिवोटी मिसिंग है, वहां से सेवा में नहीं आया। तो मैं फिर देखने गया कहाँ ये डिवोटी, मैं देख रहा हूँ वो साधना कर रहा है, एक रूम में जाके भागवतम पढ़ रहा है। 1 घंटा हो गया, 2 घंटा हो गया, अब अंदर से तो आग जली रही थी, मुझको पूरा दिन लगा दिया इसमें, ये साधना कर रहा है, हमको भी साधना करना है। तो अब मुझसे रहा नहीं गया, मैं गया विक्रम गौरांग प्रभु जी के पास, प्रभु जी आपने हमको बोला है कि झूलन यात्रा का ये सजाना है, वो डिवोटी साधना कर रहा है, वो ऐसा कैसे कर सकता है? हम्म तो प्रभु जी एकदम काम, विक्रम गौरांग प्रभु जी मतलब सुपर काम है, मतलब कभी भी एजिटेट नहीं होते थे। और फिर बोले प्रभु, मैं कहा यस प्रभु जी। क्या धर्मा है आपका? धर्मा, मेरा धर्म, प्रभु जी, सेवा प्रभु जी, आपका सेवा करना है प्रभु जी, आप जो बोलेंगे वो करना है। तो अभी मैंने आपको क्या बोला है? प्रभु जी आपने मेरे को, हमको झूलन यात्रा से जाने को बोला है, तो आप अपना धर्म कर रहे हैं? मैं कहा हाँ प्रभु जी, मैं तो कर ही रहा हूँ प्रभु जी, वो नहीं कर रहा, आपका क्या है? मैं कहा मेरा तो प्रभु जी यही है, झूलन यात्रा है। प्रभु जी लेकिन वो आपका क्या है? यस प्रभु जी, समझ गया प्रभु जी। हैं, बोले स्वधर्मा पे ध्यान दीजिए, पराधर्मा बहु, वो है ना, कौन सा श्लोक है, थर्ड थर्ड चैप्टर में आता है, पराधर्मा भया।
भयावह।
हाँ, सो दूसरों के धर्म पे फोकस मत करिए, अपने धर्म पे फोकस करिए। आप ऐसे करके प्लीज करेंगे मेरे को। मैं बोला यस यस फौजी, यस फौजी। सो हैप्पी मूड से अपना धर्म करिए, डोंट फोकस ऑन अदर धर्म, फोकस ऑन योर धर्म। मैं बोला यस फौजी, यस फौजी। तो तब से मुझे वो लेसन याद आ गया कि मेरे को एक अच्छा लेसन दिया था फौजी ने कि व्हाई व्हेन विल वन नॉट बी डिस्टर्ब व्हेन वी फोकस इन हिज स्वधर्म, व्हेन यू फोकस ऑन अदर धर्म यू विल गेट डिस्टर्ब। वो क्या ऐसा क्यों नहीं कर रहा है, वो ऐसा क्यों नहीं कर रहा है? अरे भैया आपका एरिया ऑफ इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं है वो, आप उस पर कंसर्न बोल रहे हो, उसका धर्म, आप उसका धर्म डिसाइड करने जा रहे हो, आप अपने धर्म पे फोकस करो ना, फोकस ऑन योर धर्म, व्हाट इज योर धर्म, देन यू कैन बी पीसफुल।
प्रभु जी अगर सामने वाला ऐसे दिखाए बहुत ज्यादा तो?
तो दिक्कत क्या है, आप अपना कर रहे हो
हम्म
तो दिखा दो ना उसको, उससे उससे आपको क्या लेना देना है? मेन पॉइंट इज आर वी परफॉर्मिंग आवर धर्म व्हिच इज असाइंड टू अस, दैट्स इट। तो तो जब से मैंने इस प्रिंसिपल को फॉलो किया है, तब से मैंने देखा है कि आश्रम में बहुत सारी चीजें होती हैं, कोई ड्यूटी है सही नहीं कर रहा है, अच्छे से भक्ति नहीं कर रहा है, तो मैं बता देता हूँ, इन्फॉर्म कर देता हूँ, प्रभु जी देख लीजिएगा इसका, वो ऐसा ऐसे कर रहा है। तो उसके बाद अपने स्वधर्मा पे मैं लगा हुआ हूँ। अमन प्रभु लास्ट में क्वेश्चन लेंगे ना, पहले इसको खत्म करते हैं। सो स्वधर्मा, मुझे यहाँ से याद आ गया कि वन शुड नॉट बी डिस्टर्ब बाय ऑल दिस थिंग। Similarly, if he does not get what he desires, he is not distressed. He is transcendental in the face of all kinds of auspicious and inauspicious and sinful activities. So what it does means auspicious and inauspicious sinful activities. तो कोई अगर सोचता है कि ये एक अच्छा काम है इस जगत में और ये इस जगत में बुरा काम है, लेकिन इस दुनिया में अच्छा और बुरा दोनों ही बुरा है, because it still will bond you to material world. Both auspicious and inauspicious activities of this world will bound you in this world. So therefore one has to be transcendental. So Prabhupada, I think किसी तो एक परपट में लिखे हैं कि a devotee is not concerned whether it is auspicious or not auspicious. He is concerned whether Krishna wants it or not. एक परपट है, उसमें प्रभा दिखते हैं कि a devotee will do ordinary which is not done if Krishna desires, and a devotee will not do with the world desires if Krishna does not want it. प्रभात का एक ऐसा परपट है, अगर कोई इसको मिल जाए किसी को तो श्लोक डाल सकता है. There's a purport in Bhagavad Gita only where Prabhupada writes this statement. He is not concerned about what is auspicious and what non-auspicious. He is still concerned about whether Krishna wants it or not. He is prepared to accept all kinds of risks for the satisfaction of the Lord. This is important. Nothing is impediment in the discharge of the devotional service. The discharge of devotion, such a devotee is very dear to Krishna. Nothing is an impediment in the discharge of devotional service. So Prabhupada says devotional service, pure devotional service cannot be stopped by any means. The material world does not have the power to stop devotional service because it is inferior nature. The only thing is we have to increase our purity. We have to increase our dedication. We have to increase our devotion. And that's it. The more we get closer to it, you see Prabhupada doing, it was like magic. There's a book called Miracles on Second Avenue by His Holiness Mukund Maharaj, Mukund Goswami Maharaj. उसको आप पढ़ोगे तो आप एकदम वो हो जाओगे कि हर दिन मेरिकल होते थे उनके लाइफ, हर दिन. इसलिए बुक का नाम ही है मेरिकल्स ऑन सेकंड एवेन्यू. ओके. समा शत्रु च मित्रे च तथा मान अपमानयो शीतोष्ण सुख दुखेषु समसंगा विवर्जिता तुल्य निंदा सुतिर्मौनी संतुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेता सुतर मतिर भक्तिमान में प्रियो नरः. Yes, read the translation.
One who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who does not care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge and who is engaged in devotional service, such a person is very dear to me.
So Krishna now list again long list of qualities. Okay, Prabhupada's perfect. A devotee is always free from all bad association. So this is one of the qualities. Sangha Varjita. Sometimes one is praised and sometimes one is defamed. आपको मान अपमान मिलेगा. That is the nature of human society. But a devotee is always transcendental to artificial fame and infamy, distress or happy. Why it's called artificial? Because आज को अच्छा बोल रहे हैं, कल आपके पीठ पीछे बुरा बोलेंगे. एक टाइम पे इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम को जय बोलते हैं, तुमने वर्ल्ड कप जीता है, अगले दिन हार गया तो जूतों की माला पहना देते हैं. तो सब आर्टिफिशियल है. He is very patient. He does not speak of anything but the topics about Krishna. He is mauny. That is called silent. Silent does not mean that one should not speak. Silent means one should not speak nonsense. One should speak only of essential. And the most essential speak for the devotee is to speak for the sake of the Supreme Lord. A devotee is happy in all conditions. Sometimes he may get very palatable food stuff and sometimes not. कभी करेले की सब्जी है तो कभी गुलाब जामुन मिल जाता है. But he is satisfied. Nor does he care for any residential facility. तो कभी प्रभुपाद जी कभी लॉस एंजलिस के बड़े से पैलेशियल बिल्डिंग में रहते थे और कभी मायापुर के हट में रहते थे. कोई टेंशन नहीं होता. कभी हमको मायापुर में अकोमोडेशन नहीं मिलता है तो गौरंगा कुटीर में रह लेते हैं, कभी गीता भवन में रह लेते हैं. He may sometimes live underneath a tree. अच्छा, ट्री में ट्राई नहीं किया, इसको भी ट्राई करना पड़ेगा. And he sometimes live in a very palatial building. He is attached to neither. He is called fixed because he is fixed in his determination and knowledge. We may find some repetition in the description of the qualification of devotee, but this is just to emphasize the fact that a devotee must acquire all these qualifications. So प्रभुपाद भी उसी चीज को बता रहे हैं कि ये क्वालिटीज को डेवलप करने के लिए इसलिए कृष्णा बार बार इसको रिपीट कर रहे हैं. Without good qualification, one cannot be a pure devotee. Harava bhaktasya kuto mahatguna. One who is not a devotee has no good qualification. One who wants to be recognized as a devotee should develop the good qualifications. Of course, he should not extraneously endeavor to acquire this qualification, but engagement in Krishna conscious and devotional service automatically brings him to him develop this quality. So प्रपात यहाँ पर दो चीज लिखे हैं, वही जो हम पहले डिस्कस किए. One should try to develop these qualities, but ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि बस इसी के पीछे लगे हुए हैं कि भैया ऐसा होना चाहिए. नहीं, we have to perform our devotional service, and then all these things will automatically come. Last look of this section. ये तो धर्मात्मृतम एदम यथोक्तम प्रयुपासते श्रद्धाना मता परमा भक्तस्ते तीव में प्रिया. यहाँ एक एक्स्ट्रा एडजेक्टिव कृष्णा ने डाला है. प्रिया तो वर्ड जाला ही डाला है. डियर, अतीव, बहुत ज्यादा प्रिय है वो. कौन है भाई वो? यस, रीड द ट्रांसलेशन.
Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very, very dear to me.
So this imperishable path of devotional service. So what is the path which was told from verse number 12.8, where Krishna told about bhakti process, main abhidya for bhakti. 8, 9, and 10, which was direct process. Imperishable path of devotional service, and who completely engage themselves with faith, full shraddha, making me the supreme goal. Mat chitta, mat gat prana are very, very dear to me. Prabhupada's purport. Prabhupada ends this purport very nicely. In this chapter, from verse 2 through the end, from Mai Aveshya Mano Ye Mam, fixing the mind on me, 12.8, through Yetu Dharma Amritam Idam, this legion of eternal engagement, Dharma Amritam, eternal religion. The Supreme Lord has explained the process of transcendental service for approaching Him. Such processes are very dear to the Lord, and He accepts a person engaged in them. So this is what is a hope for all of us, that Krishna accepts those who are following this process. Those who are following this process. So in the 10th canto, when demigods are praying to Krishna in the womb, so there they say a very nice verse. Let me see if I get this verse. Oh, let's see. That's a very important verse, which the demigods are praying. Got it. This is 10.2.31. Okay. 10.2.31. स्वयं समुत्तीर्य सुदुस्तरं द्वयं भवानवं भीमम् अदभ्रसौहृदा भवत्पदाम्बोरुहनवाम अत्र ते निधाय याता सदनुग्रहो भवान्. Very nice verse. Translation. O Lord, who resemble the sunny, you are always ready to fulfill the desire of your devotees, and therefore you are known as a desire tree, Vanchakalpataru. When acharyas completely take shelter under your lotus feet in order to cross the fierce ocean of nations, they leave behind on earth the method by which they cross. And because you are very merciful to your other devotees, you accept this method to help them. So very nice thing. This demigods are praying that acharyas, they set a method. And because you are very merciful to those acharyas, you accept this method. Anyone who will follow this method, I will take him back to God. So this is the mercy of the Lord. This is the mercy of the Lord. And He accepts the method given by acharyas. So कोई पूछे कि कहाँ पर लिखा है ये शास्त्रों में 4:30 पे उठ के आपको मंगल आरती आना है. अरे नहीं, आचार्य ने बोला है ना, करो. कहाँ लिखा है अभी नरसिंह आरती करनी है, उसका तुलसी आरती करनी है, फिर बैठ के 2 घंटे जप करना, तो वो किधर है ये? आचार्य ने मेथड दिया है ना, करो. You will go back to God. You follow the method, you will go back to God. Don't doubt it. Here demigods are telling us that Krishna accepts those methods to help the devotees. So here Prabhupada is telling the same thing, that the method is given to us by the Lord, and we have to follow this method. and then we'll go back to God. We'll develop all those qualities. And he accepts the person engaged in them. The question, who is better? One who is engaged in the path of impersonal, who is engaged in impersonal Brahman, or one who is engaged in personal service of Supreme Person God, was raised by Arjuna. And the Lord replied to him so explicitly, there is no doubt that devotional service to Supreme Lord is the best of all processes of spiritualization. So that's how the culmination is coming in 12th chapter of Bhakti. In other words, in this chapter, it is decided that through good association, one develops for attachment for pure devotion service and thereby accepts a bona fide spiritual master. And from him begins to hear and chant whole prasad. Adho Shraddha, Sadhu Sang, Bhajan Kriya, Anat Nivriti. Prabhupada usko likh rahe hain yahan par. And observe the regulative principles of devotional service with faith and attachment and devotion, and thus engage in the transcendental service of the Lord. This path is recommended in this chapter. Therefore, there is no doubt about devotion service is the only absolute path for civilization, for the attainment of Supreme Personality of Godhead. The impersonal conception of the Supreme Absolute Truth, as described in this chapter, is recommended only up to the time one surrenders interest to self-realization. In other words, as long as one does not have the chance to associate with a pure devotee, the impersonal conception may be beneficial. In the impersonal conception of Absolute Truth, one works without fruitive result, meditates, and cultivates knowledge to understand spirit and matter. This is necessary as long as one is not in the association of pure devotee. Fortunately, this is fortune. If one develops directly a desire to engage in Krishna consciousness in pure devotional service, he does not need to undergo step-by-step improvement in devotional service. Devotional service, as described in the middle 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, is more congenial. One need not bother about materials to keep body and soul together, because by the grace of the Lord, everything is carried out automatically. So आपको अपने लाइफ का टेंशन नहीं लेना है, आपको बस एक ही चीज का टेंशन लेना है, वो मैं कैसे कृष्णा को प्लीज करूं. That's the only thought a devotee should get. That is Bhakti Yoga. In one line, the Bhakti Yoga is our whole existence is for the pleasure of Lord and his devotees. That is Bhakti Yoga. And our mind, our body, our thoughts, our words, our whole existence has just one purpose, that is to please Lord and his devotees. Our own thoughts is not there. What we are, what will happen to us, what we'll get by it. Even a devotee does not desire to go back to Godhead. When Prahlad Maharaj was asked by Supreme Lord Narasimhadev, please come back to Godhead, Prahlad Maharaj says, Evam janam nipatitam pravavikupe kamabhikamanuya prapatan prasangat ritavatma satasashan bhagavan grihitam soham katham na vishajay tava vritya sevan. Oh Lord, evam janam nipatitam, मैं जनरल पब्लिक को फॉलो करते हुए एवं जन्म निपतितम प्रभाविकूपे कामाभिकाम, और अपने मटेरियल डिजायर्स को फुलफिल करते हुए कामाभिकाम अनुया प्रपतंग प्रसंगात, मैं एक डार्क वेल में गिरते जा रहा था, डार्क वेल में गिरने वाला था, मटेरियल वर्ल्ड के डार्क वेल में गिरने वाला था. कामाभिकाम अनुया प्रपतंग प्रसंगात. थर्ड लाइन क्या था? कृतवात्म साधु सुरक्षिणा भगवन कृतम आत्मा, मुझे अपना बना लिया. कृतम आत्मा सुरक्षण गृहीता सोहम कतुम न विषय तब वृत्य सेवम, मैं उनकी सेवा छोड़ के कैसे आ सकता? हाउ कैन आई लीव द सर्विस ऑफ योर डिवोटी हु हैज सेव्ड मी? माय लाइफ इज इन डेट टू हिम, माय लाइफ इज इन डेट टू हिम. कर्ज है मेरे ऊपर उनका, जिन्होंने मेरे को भक्ति दिया है. So how can I live? So that is in one line Bhakti Yoga. Our whole existence is for the pleasure of Lord and his devotees. Thank you so much. So here I take a leave from all of you. Thank you for tolerating me all throughout chapter 10, 11, 12. वर्स नंबर मत पूछो यार, मेरे को वर्स नंबर याद नहीं रहते. मेरा भक्ति शास्त्री का एग्जाम हो चुका है, अब मुझे वर्स नंबर याद नहीं है. मुझे वर्सेस याद है, वर्स नंबर नहीं याद है.
हरि वो.
So thank you so much for your patient hearing, and all of you have been kindly attending all throughout last 1.5 months of this Bhakti Yoga section. I hope I could serve you in some way to encourage you in your devotional service. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
और भक्ति शास्त्री में प्रभु जी और कोई बुक पढ़ाने आएंगे आप? NOD, NOI?
नहीं प्रभु जी. हमारा यहीं तक है, लेकिन मैं टेस्ट लेने जरूर आऊंगा। ठीक है शिवम ब्रो।
ठीक प्रभु।
ओके,
हम आपको मिस करेंगे, आपके इतने अच्छे से आपने पढ़ाया।
थैंक यू सो मच, आई कुड सर्व। यस,
Thank you
तो
so
मैंने
much, Prabhuji, for your association to all of us. लिटरली ये 3-4 चैप्टर जो आपने लिए वो पता ही नहीं चला कि कितना मतलब हम लोग एब्जॉर्व होके कर लिए इसको। वरना लाइक वो 12th वाला जो श्लोका था कल का, वो तो समझ में नहीं आ रहा था जब हम भगवत गीता अपने खुद से पढ़े, तो मैंने कहा छोड़ो यार। लेकिन कल आपने इतने अच्छे से समझा दिया। और आज जो प्रभु जी आपने ये ट्रांसडेंटल होने का मीनिंग बताया, दिस इज द बेस्ट। अभी ये मेरे को हमेशा याद रहने वाला है कि हमें ये नहीं सोचना चलो भगवान की इच्छा थी हो गया है। हमें ये भी देखना है कि हम एज ए सेवक पास है या फेल है, वो है ट्रांसडेंटल हो। थैंक यू प्रभु जी।
थैंक यू, थैंक यू। हरे कृष्णा, थैंक यू सो मच। आई टेक अ लीव फ्रॉम हियर। हरे कृष्णा। और ग्लोरी श्री शिल प्रभुपाद की जय, ग्रंथराज
जय
श्रीमद् भगवद गीता
जय
की जय।
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 आलोक
आई
थैंक
भाई
यू
ऑल्सो
सो
की
मच
रिलीज,
प्रभु
मुझे
जी।
जय।
मुझे भी बहुत अच्छा लगा ये करके, क्योंकि मुझे भी पढ़ने का बहुत मौका मिला इसमें करने के। So I will continue my studies like this. I got a taste in reading like this. Thank you. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो